We are in John Frankenheimer's Seconds, a neglected Hollywood masterpiece from 1966, from the very heart of the hippie era, which preached unrestrained hedonism. Realize your dreams, enjoy life fully. The film is the story of a late middle-aged businessman leading a gray, totally alienated life, and then he decides at some point that he has enough of it. Through one of his friends, he contacts a mysterious agency which offers him a deal. They will reorganize his life so that he will be reborn.
The cost runs in the neighborhood of $30,000. I know this seems rather high, but in addition to the rather extensive cosmetic renovation by way of plastic surgery for you, CPS has to provide a fresh corpse that perfectly matches your physical dimensions and medical specifications.
CPS?
Oh, cadaver procurement section.
They use some corpse, they change it to look like his own body. They plant this corpse, stage a pseudo-accident so that police thinks he is dead.
You know, Mr. Wilson, you represent something of a milestone around here.
And then the agency organizes an alternate life. In a nice villa somewhere around LA, they even organize a nice lady who conveniently stumbles upon him when he is taking a walk along the beach.
Hello.
He is thus reborn
I'm Nora Marks.
no longer as a boring businessman, but as a modernist painter
Tony Wilson.
called Tony Wilson, played by none other than Rock Hudson.
Sure.
So the woman, Nora, his new love, tries to engage him in life, even takes him to some wine orgy where people get drunk, dance naked, and so on. Everything seems okay. But Tony Wilson starts to miss his old life. More and more, he is haunted by his past. Finally, he breaks down, approaches again the agency, telling them that he wants to return to his old life. The boss of this mysterious company, a kind of kindly, cruel,
Hello, son.
superego paternal figure, tells him the truth. He disappointed them by not being able to adapt himself to his new life.
You know, I sure hoped you'd make it. Find your dream come true. What? I said I sure hoped that you'd make it. Find your dream come true. Oh, you can call it wishful thinking, son, but life is built on wishing. And you gotta just keep plugging away at them. You can't give up. And we can't let the mistakes jeopardize the dream.
So what went wrong here? The problem was that his past in its material existence was erased.
Well, here's your transportation.
Surgery, sir.
He lived in a totally new environs, new job, new friends, and so on. What remained the same were his dreams. Because when the company organized his rebirth, when the company provided new existence for him, they simply followed his dreams. His dreams were wrong dreams. And this is quite a deep lesson for the theory of ideology.
Just remember, son, we got to keep plugging away at the dream. The mistakes teach us how. It wasn't wasted. Remember that.
On the way to the operation hall, he discovers the horrible truth. He will not be reborn, but he will be used as a cadaver for another person who wants to be reborn.
Absolve quiaesemus domum.
We should draw a line of distinction within the very field of our dreams
Shall keep it unto life eternal.
between those who are the right dreams pointing towards a dimension effectively beyond our existing society, and the wrong dreams. The dreams which are just an idealized, consumerist reflection, mirror image of our society. We are not simply submitted to our dreams. They just come from some unfathomable depths, and we can't do anything about it. This is the basic lesson of psychoanalysis and fiction cinema. We are responsible for our dreams. Our dreams stage our desires, and our desires are not objective facts. We created them, we sustain them, we are responsible for them.
This is an area of ancient lake beds deposited 5 to 10 million years ago.
The scene of mass orgy in Zabriskie Point is a nice metaphor of what went wrong with the 1960s hippie revolution. It's crucial that Zabriskie Point was made in 1970, when the authentic revolutionary energy of the 60s was already losing its strength. This orgy is somewhere between subversion of the existing social order and already the full aestheticized reincorporation of these allegedly transgressive activities into the hegemonic ideology. Although Antonioni meant this as a kind of transcendence of the existing constraints, we can easily imagine this shot in some publicity campaign. The first step to freedom is not just to change reality to fit your dreams. It's to change the way you dream. And again, this hurts, because all satisfactions we have come from our dreams.
The great Supreme Commander, Chairman Mao, issued a world-shaking call to us. You should pay attention to state affairs and carry the great proletarian cultural revolution through to the end.
One of the big problems of all great revolutionary movements of the 20th century, such as Russia, Cuba, or China, is that they did change the social body, but the egalitarian communist society was never realized. The dreams remained the old dreams, and they turned into the ultimate nightmare. Now, what remains of the radical left waits for a magical event when the true revolutionary agent will finally awaken. While the depressing lesson of the last decades is that capitalism has been the true revolutionizing force, even as it serves only itself. How come it is easier for us to imagine the end of all life on Earth, an asteroid hitting the planet, than a modest change in our economic order? Perhaps the time has come to set our possibilities straight and to become realists by way of demanding what appears as impossible in the economic domain. The surprising explosion of Occupy Wall Street protests, the mass mobilization in Greece, the crowds on Tahrir Square, they all bear witness to the hidden potential for a different future. There is no guarantee that this future will arrive. No train of history on which we simply have to take a ride. It depends on us, on our will. In revolutionary upheavals, some energy, or rather some utopian dreams take place, they explode, and even if the actual result of a social upheaval is just a commercialized everyday life, this excess of energy, what gets lost in the result, persists, not in reality, but as a dream haunting us, waiting to be redeemed. In this sense, whenever we are engaged in radical emancipatory politics, we should never forget, as Walter Benjamin put it almost a century ago, that every revolution is not only, if it is an authentic revolution, is not only directed towards the future, but it redeems also the past failed revolutions. All the ghosts, as if were the living dead of the past revolution, which are roaming around unsatisfied, will finally find their home in the new freedom.